There we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live!
Welcome back, all of you in the audience, and welcome back, Paul. We are back in the studio, home from Las Vegas.
What a fun show. It was the 2018 NAB Show. We met a lot of you, including Ryan Brenneman, Kenny Hampton. We met with Kyle Gunderman, Chris Zanowitz. Who am I forgetting? Tom Sinclair.
We met David Simon. The list goes on and on. Crazy.
So many of you that we got to meet, so we're so excited. We want to review.
Otis. I mean, I could just sit here and keep.
Butch. I mean, there was just so many people that we got a chance to meet. So, well,
Chris,
just to get us into
Science.
the NAB world, to get you into the thing, we got a little bit of B-roll we're going to play, and then we're going to go over the 10 most exciting announcements we found out about at NAB, and then we're going to show you how our show will be forever changed by what we learned.
Possibly.
Yeah, here we are, going live soon.
Go live.
Woo! I'm gonna email it back today. All right, so that gives you a little idea of what happened at the 2018 NAB show. We interviewed Andrew Cross, Tim Vandenberg from vMix, Martin Sinclair from vMix, Andrew Cross, the CEO of NewTek, Philippe Laurent from EasyLive,
Claudia from LiveU, Casper from Skaarhoj. We interviewed the guys over at Epiphan. Andrew Haley from Wirecast. We got some FaceTime with live streaming pros. Who am I forgetting? Tom Sinclair, of course. Dan Slider from xKeys.
Yes, we actually hosted the Streaming Idiots show from our booth. Amy Zhang from Magewell. We had George and Dan from Epiphan. We had 4 days of interviews and 2 interviews each. And we learned quite a bit.
At least,
yeah. And then also Tess was on the main stage with Jeff Adams.
And you were on the main stage twice.
I was on the main stage with Andrew
Jeff.
Haley and Sean Cannell. I mean, we could name drop forever. There were so many, not only people that we interviewed and got a deeper understanding of their companies and what they do, but we also met with a lot of the viewers. And in fact, big shout out to Scott Pienta, Ryan Brenneman, and Chris Zanowitz for actually critiquing the show.
Science. We learned the proper pronunciation of his name.
Sorry, yeah, you're right, Science. And helping us critique the show. And if you have any critiques, let us know, because we love critiques. Mm-hmm. And helping us kind of engage and learn more about what we can do to have a better show.
Absolutely. It was so amazing to get to meet a lot of you there. And also, I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody who stopped by our booth, who put us at the top of their list. We really appreciated all the love that we got there. And also to all the guests that we had on. I mean, we hope it was helpful for you, because it was certainly helpful and amazing to us. But we're so happy now to be back in the studio and, be back with full attention towards our audience. I've got my social cues up here, and I'm ready to hear from you guys and to touch base and chat and move forward.
So with all those interviews that we've gone out and done, I actually went home and on my way wrote up a 15-page NAB 2018 debriefing. And I actually usually do this for our organization. I do it for our Chief Operating Officer, Joe Mulcahy. I do it from our lead engineer, Matthew Davis. And we distribute it through our company. And I figured, you know what? Actually, let's show the call to action. I want to give this briefing to all of our viewers
You're
as
gonna
well.
give it out?
So normally this is an internal document. I just print out the first couple of pages. There's 15 pages. And we've got a call to action I want to show here. It's available at streamgeeks.us/NAB. And some of the more detailed information has to do with this top 10 list. Some of the new features in vMix 21, some of the new NDI features coming out, they deserve paragraphs and paragraphs of explanations. And so if you watch some of the interviews, I actually word for word transcribed a lot of the things that these genius programmers and hardware engineers are letting us know about. And so it's all written down in paper so you guys can digest.
It's like the gold mine from NAB right there.
Our debriefing.
I'm surprised that you're giving it out, but actually I'm not surprised.
Well, you know, this is for StreamGeeks viewers only. So.
Yeah. Definitely. I think
don't
it's awesome.
share it. Just
no.
kidding. No, and you can share it anywhere. So let's start, and we'll kind of dig into this debrief. But before we do, this is a really important change. And one of the debriefings that I debriefed was the Live Streaming Pros interview. Well, I kind of want to start there because that was a streaming pros, let's call it, conversation, not so much about hardware and tech, but more about applications and the future of streaming.
Yeah, direction, social media, and where we really see streaming for our businesses and organizations moving forward. And it was so fun to meet them, get some FaceTime with them. Everybody knows I love Luria, so it was great.
Yeah, it was actually an hour-long conversation, so I actually didn't get to transcribe the whole thing, but the biggest takeaway that I learned, and there's a lot there to digest, honestly. Luria had a lot of great ideas. David had a lot of great ideas, but Twitch, in particular, David Foster from Geeks Life is taking his entire channel and live streams to Twitch. And I was thinking, what is this? This is crazy. Hygiene. I'm so glad we were able to produce content for you when not everyone could make it, and we understood that. And Tess does have the chat up. She's using vMix Social on YouTube and Facebook. But here's the big thing that we're going to change. We're going to be streaming to Twitch for the second part of this show every week. So that means we're going to start the trivia here, but we're going to end the trivia and the giveaway and the second half of our content on Twitch. So that's twitch.tv/SGeeks. StreamGeeks was already taken, so SGeeks. Now, here's why. There's two reasons why. One is Amazon owns Twitch. They're doing a great job promoting the platform, billions of users, and a lot of times with this new type of technology, the first mover advantage is incredibly important. So yes, it's mainly gamers there now. Definitely tech users. Gamers are real people. They're technology users. They are people who probably are interested in our content. So that's the reason one. Reason two is we're not going to stop streaming to YouTube and Facebook. This is actually going to make our YouTube and Facebook content shorter, more digestible. I don't think people want an hour-long piece of content. So we're going to chop it in half and then have the fun trivia and stuff like that, the post-show, the giveaway. All of that stuff will happen on a platform like Twitch, which I think will really resonate.
Now, can anybody watch on Twitch? Or
Yes,
is this going to be
anybody
exclusive
can watch
content?
on Twitch.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so our viewers are just going to be able to hop over there to catch this part of the show.
Yep.
Let us know what you think about this in the chat. We'll get through this together. This is very new and experimental for us, so we hope that we can be an example for you, the good, bad, and the ugly, as we move forward with this.
So with that being said, we're going to try to get through our content, which is usually pretty beefy, as you guys know, in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 minutes before we switch to Twitch. Several people I know are moving to Twitch, says Thomas Hendricks. We are going to switch right now. Today, we're going to pull the plug, and better licenses, better on Twitch. Not kidding.
Beautiful conversation with David and Luria about Twitch. Very informative. So special shout out to them for kind of helping guide us through this option that we're exploring.
Yeah, and now also we're going to get into Number 4, the independent streaming controls. I'm jumping ahead of myself on vMix, which is going to make the transition much easier. But let's start with number 1, Tess.
Yes, Kenny, just really quick, Kenny, I put the URL in the chat here for you guys to access.
On Twitch, yeah,
so let's repeat it one more time, Paul, for the viewers.
Yes.
And
so
for me.
it's twitch.tv/SGeeks. So just
.tv/SGeeks. Now, I'm excited about this for our audience as well, because from what we've been learning, there's a lot of fun social media integrations and different ways to interact with our audience that we think that you guys are going to be fun. It's gamified. So there's
in a lot of ways.
some things that we're going to be exploring together with, points and different emojis you can send and different kinds of engagements that we can take advantage of. So it should be fun.
Yeah, and we are jumping right into it, I will admit. Probably before, we've all gotten our feet wet with this, but it's going to be fun, and we're going to take you guys along for the ride. So, number 1, in my opinion, most exciting. This is hard to do.
That's from the Facebook. That's what happened when I posted the link into Facebook.
Look, I can actually be inside the glasses.
Oh, that just gave me an idea.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, if I know what you're thinking. There's so much cool stuff. We're gonna probably take a couple weeks to digest everything. But the number 1, I think, furthest reaching thing right now is the Wirecast PTZ camera controls that made number 1 on my list. Quickly, closely neck and neck followed by vMix 21 and everything that's included there, but advanced color correction. So let's break down the Wirecast PTZ controls first. This is available for all Ptz Optics cameras, and it basically builds in pan-tilt zoom control into Wirecast 9 and above. Wirecast 9 was released at NAB this year, and it makes that single live streaming video production person available to not only just switch and record and stream, but be a camera operator. And that's just such a huge thing. In fact, vMix came to our booth and said, "Hey guys, it's your vMix, or it's our PTZ-versary." And so essentially,
I love that term.
We've been, I think it's either 2 years, maybe just 1 year of vMix camera control built in. So Wirecast coming up with that feature. Congratulations, such a huge one. Now moving on to vMix 21, advanced color correction. In fact, Martin Sinclair asked me not to share any pictures or videos. So we're not going to share any of that stuff. We got to leave vMix with their thunder there. But let me just explain a little bit of what I've learned.
Really quick, people are asking for that debriefing link again.
Yeah.
Is it StreamGeeks.us or Ptz
StreamGeeks.us/NAB. We've got a little call to action. Let's show that one more time. StreamGeeks.us/NAB.
Oh, the debriefing is there.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So that's where the debriefing is. That's where this whole guide is 15 pages and it includes a little bit of information here. So the professional color wheel features are similar to a video editing software. So anyone who's familiar with color grading film, you'll be immediately familiar with the new vMix color corrections, except now we're talking about live camera feeds. It allows you to do color matching between multiple cameras with professional tools such as a vector scope and a waveform monitor. So what is a vector scope? Well, essentially it looks like a kind of like a graph, and it's broken down between red, green, and blue. And the top of the vector scope, when you're looking at the color wheel, will usually have red, then there'll be cyan and green. And the vector graph will help you balance the colors coming from your live video camera. So usually what you want to do is you actually want to change the settings in the camera first before you start tweaking what you see in vMix. Essentially, you want a flat image from vMix, meaning you don't want any blacks or whites clipping. Now, I'm colorblind, so to have a tool like this where I can actually rely on actual data as opposed to my eyes, which do not see color properly, is a game changer for me. I can actually kind of feel confident that my cameras are properly color matched. So a vector scope is ideal for live video color correction. And also a lot of the problems that people have is an inaccurate monitor. So even if you think the colors are right on your monitor, your monitor may not be a really, really expensive high-grade monitor that can accurately represent the colors properly to your eyes, which also might have an issue. So it's giving us the tools. It really brings vMix as a total product up to the higher grade products. Next is the Waveform Monitor, which is really the counterpart to the vector scope, which handles brightness and exposure. Again, we want to get the exposure properly done in the camera. And when you have proper exposure, it may look a little kind of overexposed, a little washed out, but that's because you want to leave some space for vMix to really make sure that you're not clipping the blacks, crushing your blacks, and making sure you're getting the proper exposure into vMix so that it can do the final balance. So that's just a little bit of an overview. I'm sure Martin Sinclair is going to do it much better justice, but he actually came on our show and broke it down for us, and you can see that video on our YouTube channel. It's only 20 minutes long, and he really digs into these features.
Hey, Ken. Ken was one that we got to meet at NAB, and it was a pleasure.
Hi, Ken. So, Tess, number 3 on our list.
Some very exciting NewTek announcements this week, but one of the ones that really stood out for us and we think that a lot of you are going to appreciate is Skype integration with NDI.
Yeah, so there's a new product called Skype for Creators and Skype for Life, which are coming very soon. And those are going to have built-in NDI support. Not input, so it's actually not going to bring any NDI sources in just yet, but it will do output. So if you have 4 Skype callers, you'll have 4 NDI sources available on your network to bring into Wirecast, vMix, or XSplit. Now, with that release, NewTek is also going to make the virtual camera input driver free. And what that does is it allows you to bring any NDI source into Skype. So they're making the whole solution available to the masses. Billions of people are going to get their hands on NDI. And just a couple more notes on NDI. We're up to NDI 3.5, which has improved processing performance. We've got the 4K NDI Spark, which is announced. There's no Wi-Fi, but it goes up to 4K 60. Something that was announced that a lot of people might not have known unless you went to the NewTek meeting is they're building in touch panels for the TriCaster. And the touch screen support, being able to swipe and move and things, is to try to capture a younger generation.
I like that, and I definitely see where they're going with that, especially because they're in some ways trying to adhere to the software users as well, where sometimes software companies are trying to adhere to the TriCaster diehards as well too. We saw that with one of our other announcements that we have coming up here.
In fact, I think that's number 5.
That's number 5.
So number 4, we have independent streaming controls. So those independent controls, this is for vMix 21, the independent streaming controls allow you to start a stream on YouTube, start a stream on Facebook, and then add one to Twitch, for example. So be able to turn off and on multiple streams.
Yeah, and to limit certain portions of your live streams to certain platforms, whether you just like to do a Q&A at the end of your show on Facebook only, or if you want to, not do a pre-show on one channel, but yes on another channel. There's a lot of flexibility there that we're excited to play with.
Yeah, and so speaking of that, and Tess, you're totally right, it's going to kind of change the game for a couple different reasons. One is we're starting to play around with Twitch, right? So we're going to do YouTube and Facebook for the first part of the show, Twitch for the giveaway and the trivia. So that makes that really easy. Today, we're going to have to turn off our streams between YouTube and Facebook, and there might be a 30-second delay before Twitch is fired up. That will be eliminated.
Yeah, so we're excited for that. And by the way, these new features in vMix that we're discussing, they said will be announced officially on their vMix Funtime show later on at the end of this month. Yes. So with that show, I believe right after that, you, the users, will be able to access this new version as well. So that's exciting news there. That's
really exciting. And the other thing I was thinking, Tess, is that could you imagine if a portion of the show was exclusive to the user group, for example, like the post show,
which I like that.
So there's a lot of different ways to use these tools. The next one, number 5, is we have the xKeys Wirecast Control Surface. And maybe while we're going through these, Michael, could you just show some of the pictures from the show? Michael was out there taking a ton of great pictures, and I think that just looking at them would really bring everyone to the showroom floor. Here's Matt and Tess and I at the LiveU booth. So xKeys, called xKeys for Wirecast, and it's a control surface specifically made by xKeys for Wirecast.
Yeah, and it's pre-programmed, so those of you Wirecast users wouldn't have to go in and reprogram the interface. I mean, it's fun to have your xKeys customizable, which we love about that. But it is nice to be able to also purchase something like the xKeys for Wirecast that is pre-programmed. It's designed in a very familiar way to Wirecast users' online or software interface. So it should be a simple transition for those of you looking for the physical keys.
Yeah, and totally plug and play too. So it's a huge, it's just a huge leap forward for their company. To just
These are most of our guests that you're looking at.
Yep, there's Tess and Andrew. Just get.
I'm like starstruck. I don't even know what to say to him. I'm like, yes, master.
I will say that I think that the layout, the couch and the 2 chairs really worked out for us.
Yeah, the couch with the 2 chairs was awesome. If we had a few guests, we put them on the couch and we can go in the outskirts. Or we could all cozy up there too. It worked out just great.
I think the maximum amount of people we fit was like 3 on the couch and 1 on either side. I think that's about as far as we went. But it was just a lot of fun. Michael was out there just snapping photos the whole time. And
Michael did great at that. He made sure to get a picture with everyone, which is great. And it's going to be awesome for redistributing some of this content.
Yeah, it totally will be. And the other big announcement was the Ptz Optics 30X. So that was a huge announcement. Look at that. Chad is looking forward to the 30X Ptz Optics. Yes. So.
That's a highly requested product from a lot of you guys. So we're excited to be bringing that out to you.
And what we kept hearing was that a lot of video pros and media people, people who are out and doing streaming for other people, they don't know if they're going to need that extra optical zoom or not. So if they're going to make an investment in a camera to be able to zoom in 100 feet away to get a up close personal head and shoulder shot from 100 feet away on one event, that's a sporting event, and then the next event is maybe a smaller space, they really like to be able to have that as well.
Ben got his hands on the NewTek touchscreen interface at NAB and said he loves it. So, so I didn't get a chance to play with that, but it sounds really intriguing.
I didn't see that either. I wasn't sure if there was an actual physical touchscreen. That's
Do you know that there's this hashtag that's been circling around a little bit?
Yes.
Part of the fun of NAB this year was, yes, getting to build deeper relationships with those of you in the chat that were able to come out, but also other, chat members, meeting one another and kind of making friends. And I talked about this earlier in my selfie stream and the user group, but it was fun to see them kind of build some bonds as well and to be able to make fun of us together and, go out together at night. Some of them even did. So that was really fun to see. So feel free to come out next year. Even if you feel like you're not going to meet people, you will, and you're going to make some friends because I saw a lot of that this year. Oh,
yeah, totally. And we're going to try to help more and more people get free passes as well.
Nice, Jim.
And get you guys over there. So moving forward, Magewell released something called, they're calling it the NDI Bridge. And it allows any Magewell product to have complete integration with the NewTek NDI. So any capture card, any frame grabber, any PCIe Express product can be plugged into a Windows-only computer at this point and be made into an NDI source available on your network.
It's exciting.
So that was
from them.
Crazy, because that's all past products as well. So really cool. Firmware upgrade or software upgrade from them. Magewell also brought over a...
Sorry, I'm reading in the chat, but really quick, do we have any information on when people can purchase the 30X?
Not quite yet. It's very, very soon. The new JVC TriCaster competitor.
He was talking about a competitor that he actually tried out, so I got that first one wrong.
I see. So JVC has a TriCaster.
Had to correct myself there. And Jim from Church Streamers started a Twitch channel.
How about that? So this will be interesting, Jim, and everyone to see what Twitch is like. We're going to head over there in like almost 5 minutes. And it's funny because Twitch has just a lot of fun little gamification style setups. One is called raids. And it's like everyone from one chat room raids another chat room. So we can stage raids. There's looting involved. It's crazy. So Magewell mentioned the NDI Bridge. They also had something called the Magewell Encoder, which is great for the lower budget streaming systems. It was like just about this big.
Yeah, it was 4 inches by 4 inches.
Had an HDMI in, HDMI out loop through, so you can put it in line with something else, and had audio in and out, and then just 2 buttons, stream and record.
And most of the stuff that we're talking about today, you can go back as we interviewed all these people and learn a more in-depth discussion on each of these topics. We're just trying to give you a nice little debriefing, as Paul calls it, of our favorites.
Yeah, and the debriefing. Hopefully, I don't give away anything too secret, but it's 15 pages, so it's very detailed. Skaarhoj.
You must have worked hard this weekend.
Yeah, well, actually, it was on the plane.
He never fails.
I just had everything needed the YouTube description. The Skaarhoj brought over a ton of IP PTZ joysticks, which we fell in love with, and so many other people did as well. We didn't have a chance to set it up here, but they have just amazing controls, amazing PTZ controls.
Casper's great. He's super genius.
Yeah, he's
clever,
really smart.
And friendly. He's passionate too, which I love to see in some of these engineers and owners and CEOs if they're passionate about the product. It makes
a big difference. Yeah. And he built in a lot of control for our cameras so that when you have multiple Ptz Optics cameras, you can just turn a dial to adjust the white balance.
You can label people's names above the keys. So if the camera's on me, you can see it says test right above my name. Really cool.
So there's that, and then the last one we have, just to finalize the how fun NAB was, there was record numbers at the Streaming Idiots meetup party, triple what it was last year. I remember it being about 25. We had almost 100. I think it was like 90 something, and it was a lot of you guys. So thank you for joining. Daniel wants to try the new PTZ Fly, such a cool product. And then there's the PTZ Pro, I think.
And the flies you could build upon. So you can buy one, and they actually click together, so you can grow your controller as your budget grows and your needs grow. So that was really cool. Really clever little feature there.
And I love the color and just the layout. And they have the OLEDs, so they have the little messages. So let's play our switch to Twitch. We have a switch to Twitch.
Link is above in the chat on both platforms. Link is above. Twitch.tv/SGeeks. Head over there and get prepared.
Open up a tab and get ready because we're going to be streaming there in just a minute. That's where trivia is going to be. We're going to test all of your knowledge. Plus, we're going to do the giveaway there. So it should be switch to Twitch time.